stormy weather, I won't see you anymore. Bring it down, bring it back forever. Bring it down on the ground. Safe and sound. Bring it back to never. Bring it down on the ground. No more secret talking. No more nails on top. No more secret talking. I don't think you'll ever stop. No more misbehaving. No more miss me not. No more misbehaving. Then we'll see what you are not. Bring it down. Bring it back forever. Bring it down on the ground. Safe and sound. Bring it back to never. Bring it down on the ground.
Hello, and happy Sunday, everyone. Thanks for joining us for our July 11th already edition of the Black Unicorn and the White Witch. I'm Miss Shannan. That's Tiffany. With us already, I don't know if you saw in the chat, Tiffany, our friend Paul K is here. And so is Sutherland, so we get to shout them both out early today. So hello. Oh, Peggy. Hello, Peggy. Hello. Happy Sunday, everybody. Tiffany, she and I were talking before we went live, and I thought it was interesting because she had to move where she was broadcasting from. So she's like, I'm on location. And I thought she said from my evening room. And I'm like, oh, I don't have one of those. Am I supposed to have an evening room?
Yes, you are. All adults have evening rooms. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why you're not aware of this.
No, I'm just missing out because
it's a step above a she shed.
Yes,
an evening room.
I've heard of those. I had never heard of an evening room, and I thought that it was interesting because it was so bright and sunny. I was going to ask you why it would also be called an evening room, but
it's normally
living room.
I did mean living room.
Slow.
Well, I've decorated it much like a lounge in like the old Macy's. Like, oh, there's too much white out. You can't see. There's a couch back there. There's a mirror if you want to check your face.
I like that you said like the old Macy's. Y'all like,
there's a telescope if you want to spy on the neighbors.
Oh, did you see what I got? It's not nearly as good as a telescope, but did you see my Instagram reel of my new lightsaber?
No.
Oh,
how did I miss that? No, you told me you bought one. I wasn't going to
bring this up today. So first, okay.
Why not?
Since I'm in my office, first of all, I'll shout.
All days are a good day to talk about lightsabers.
Well, fair enough. So this is my other lightsaber is this one, which is gosh, near 20 years old. So this is my other one.
Yeah.
This is the one I've had for a really long time, and it makes noise.
Yeah, it does.
So that's the original one that I have, and I am very proud of that one. I like that one. But lightsaber technology has greatly improved over the last decade. So
we're catching up. We're catching up to Star Wars.
So this is
what you're saying,
right? So this is a Kyber's saber. So look how much like more streamlined the technology has gotten. Look at that. In comparison.
Very nice. Yeah.
So
which one looks most like the one from the movies though? The new one or the older one?
This one. The newer one looks, and the thing is you really have to read the directions on this new one because it's programmable. So it has one button, but it's basically hit it a couple of times and then it can change colors as you do stuff. So it's like, well, what color do you want it to do? Or do you want it to cycle through colors? But it also makes noises.
Yeah. What color do you recommend for slaying the patriarchy? What color is that on a lightsaber?
Okay. Can we get to, there we go. Doesn't that look patriarchal slaying appropriate?
Sure.
Like, patriarchal. I think so. There. So that's my new toy. That's what I was playing with over this weekend.
Sometimes, you know what? Sometimes we fill on this show as we just grab articles from our surroundings and discuss them. And I like that. I'm excited for you though, and your lightsaber. You had a tough week, and I was just calling and I was just calling and checking on you. And you're like, I'm over it. I'm not mad about that thing anymore. And you know why? Because I bought a new lightsaber. I'm like, all right, you know what? Do you? Can't argue with that. I would have maybe bought shoes, but a lightsaber just as good.
Some people would have went and got a purse or, new clothing and lingerie. And I'm like, you know what I do? I slay things. So that's my version of Ariana Grande, Thank You Next. It was all like, zoom, and I'm okay. I'm all right. So
retail therapy wins again.
Yes.
Solves all problems.
Thank you very much, Lee, our second favorite intern. Lee, I agree with you. It is a very sweet saber. Thank you very much. We're going to remind we're going to remind everybody about this at the end of the show because you and I have a couple of appearances that are coming up here in the Twin Cities. But I do want to remind everybody real quick while Stuart is still in the chat, and we'll put the link up later. The Twin Cities Film Fest comedy night. So we're going to do comedy and short films, and Tiffany and I are going to be performing. We'll remind everybody that's going to be on Thursday, July 22nd. And Stuart Sutherland, our friend, is the one who has donated all of the adult beverages that we will be using that evening. So yeah, that's what you can do. Paul, I met this guy as well. So Tiffany, Paul is telling us about, there's a guy at Crypticon who makes lightsabers, and they are custom, and this one the new one that I have is shatter resistant. So you are supposed to be able to do some fighting with this one. Yeah. So this one I think will be really good. And so, Paul, I hope you come out and you join us on the 22nd. We hope everybody does. Peggy, the offer still stands. If you would like to do some time at our TCFF comedy night, you are welcome to do that. You are also able to have one of the adult beverages that Stuart Sutherland is providing now that we know that you drink, because I don't know why I even thought you didn't. And I was mistaken. And we found out the last time we hung out with Peggy. So
I get things wrong all the time. I just found out that someone I've known for probably 4 or 5 years is not Jewish. Totally thought they were Jewish.
Interesting. I do that sometimes.
He's like, no, but I get that all the time. Not Jewish. I was like, oh, all right.
Well, we also have a mutual friend who I was sure. Yeah. We also have a mutual friend that I was sure based upon her. Peggy's like, oh, I love. Well, good, Peggy. This is going to be perfect because that's mostly what Stuart is providing is a variety of wine. So
because he's seen the show,
we're going to have a variety of wine. Yes, he's met us, so he knows. So yeah, so you come out for sure. You'll see Tiffany, myself, Peggy Miller. We might have our friend John DeBoer come out, and then there's a couple of newer comedians that are also part of the Twin Cities Film Fest family who I have offered some time to, because I'm like, this will be a good safe space for them to try and like work some stuff out and get some feedback from us, some of us that are veterans. So that might be a good time for you guys to see that too. So come out and watch us give some time to our friends that want to give this a shot and maybe have only done it 1 or 2 times. So it's going to be fine. So again, I mean, it's going to be fun. So that's going to be again on Thursday, July 22nd at the Twin Cities Film Fest offices. They are located in the shops at West End over in St. Louis Park, and you can get your tickets now. We'll put the links out. It's $10 if you're a member and $20 if you are not. But either way, adult beverages courtesy of Stewart are available.
Yeah.
Available. So
I can't believe you told those new people it was going to be a safe space. I'm on the bill.
It is.
No,
Stop
no
it. You're not mean to new people ever.
No, I'm
not.
not.
Act like you're all, you like to act like you're all Cruella DeVille because that's your persona, but you're just nice anyway. You just don't want to keep, like, you let it get around. Exactly. Because if you let it get around, they'll ask you for stuff like they do.
They do. Then they ask you for stuff. Like I got randomly hit up one time. I guess it wasn't random, but I'd met a person once and they wanted to contract me to write a set for them. And I said, well, that's difficult to write a set for another person. I don't know you well enough. And, I would need to know a lot about you. And in turn, that person thought that meant write a small dissertation on themselves and send it to me. The world's longest email. Yeah.
I like that. What we're going to do real quick, Tiffany, is that
Are you checking on Dom?
Yeah, I think he decided to go on walkabout. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to go to
your other camera. Ooh, I'm split screen. I love it.
No, I'm trying to do it right this time.
Camera 2. Yep. So now we got to go. We got to go find out where he knows. He's that little one. He is so smart. He knows. He knows. He knows what he's doing.
And part of the reason why I have to go get him right away is he also knows it's summer and he hates pants. So if he's out here in boxers. And so it's like,
he's like, Mom can't tell that I'm running around here in my skivvies.
Come on. Let's go inside and get some shorts.
He's probably thinking like, how
does
she know every time?
You want to say hi? Say hi, Tiffany.
Hi, Dominic.
So
you gonna go put your pants on?
Yeah. What's the matter? Come on, come get your pants and you can back outside. Come on. Pants first.
Pants first. Yeah, he likes to do that. I don't blame him, man. It's hot. It's sticky. It's muggy. It's a hard sell.
I understand. It's just we live in a particular society.
Right.
And pants are not always optional.
This is true. Only inside the house.
Correct.
I found out.
Yep. That's just life. So he can go play, but he has to have clothes on.
Yeah. Although I did that once where I wasn't intentionally revealing myself when I was in public, but I was playing a game of volleyball and I went up to spike the ball and I was wearing a bikini and I came down and I mean, I just nailed it. Like I just drilled this girl in the face, just completely nailed it. Oh yeah. Bam. Right. And I come down, I'm like, yes. And I'm like, everybody's looking at me. I'm like, cause I'm such an awesome athlete. Nope. I had tossed a jug.
Oh no!
I fully tossed a jug. I'm just sitting there with a tit flopping out, and
oh wow!
And then I looked down. I'm like, oh god! But we were still in the middle of the game, so I continued. But it was embarrassing.
So you're a champion.
It was embarrassing. Yeah.
Well, I can imagine, but I mean, that's why. I mean, when you like all those, they want to make a sport a little more salacious. That's women focused. That's why they put us in those kind of clothes because you're gonna have some sort of slippage
accident
that does happen. Yeah,
I went to a Catholic high school and we wore uniforms, but then and they were very, very modest, and like the skirt had to hit the ground if you were kneeling. It had to hit otherwise you get a violation, all that stuff.
Right.
But then when they got the outfits for our track team, they were mega cut, super short. I'm like, I got half a cheek out here. Where's the protocol on this?
I wonder why they thought that would make you more aerodynamic.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I was not consulted.
Do you want me to turn on the sprinkler? Sprinkler? Here.
Does he like the sprinkler? No, he didn't like it
No.
last week.
No,
He was
no. He
Dominic
said
was
no
mad
sprinkler.
every time. He was mad every time Shannan tried to turn the sprinkler on. He's like, no sprinkler.
Okay, come inside for a little while. We'll do her show and then we'll go play. He hasn't wanted to come out all afternoon. When I tried to make us come out, he's like, it's too hot. And then he's all like, but your show is whack and I'm helping people by making you not do it. And so
in his mind, he's screaming, don't do it, Mom. You're so embarrassing.
Those 8 people do not want to hear this. Come out. Well, let me finish. Come inside.
Yeah, it's hard to vape.
Come inside for a little bit and then we'll go play.
The concept of what you want them to do is what they want.
Exactly. Go play. Yes, go play. Mom's gonna finish talking. Look, see, he's smiling. It's intentional. So he's all like,
"Oh, your camera froze up."
Really...
I'm just seeing your face. Your camera froze up.
Go play. We'll play for. I'm gonna talk for a few minutes and then we'll go play. Go get your phone.
No more.
Okay, we'll come downstairs with my phone. Come downstairs.
Okay,
with my
Peggy just chimed in.
Peggy
took
said
an
what?
Outdoor shower at a friend's cabin. UPS showed up. I had to charge him. Good. That's right. You should charge him. He delivered a package. He also got to see a nice
see the package
present there. Yeah, he got to see a little something. Yeah, well, I had that again where I live in a high rise. And they tell you that they're working on the building, but they never tell you exactly when. And so twice this last week, I walked out into my evening room, which is behind me, as Shannan likes to call it. And all of a sudden, there's like one of those trusses, and there's like dudes just outside my window. And when you're 24 floors up, you don't expect to see people outside your window smoking a Marlboro, like, repairing concrete. I was like, and I just totally caught eyes with the guy, and I'm like in my robe. I look like an absolute hell. I'm like, sup? I don't know. And then I feel bad too because my kitchen was dirty too. So now I feel like I'm getting judged by window guy.
But now I like it better when you, because then it looks like you're not doing anything shady at all. So like, no, I looked like this because nobody was supposed to see it. It wasn't like I was accidentally setting up some, porn movie scenario. I was just like,
would you like to come in?
Right. And then all of a sudden the boom chick bow bow music plays. Like I remember my another friend of ours was talking about how she had up because what I do is I have all my unmentionables, the things that have to line dry. Then I put them all up on I hang them all up in my laundry room. And she was talking about how her unmentionables were out and they weren't cute. And I was like, that's good. You don't want random dude thinking, hey, I'm just ready to go throw down at any given moment. I'm like, you walked in on Granny Panty Day. That's your fault.
Although that is kind of an interesting flex. If you want to, garner some interest amongst the neighbors, just hang out with the really raunchy stuff. Just only that. Like, wow. Red and black lace teddy. Okay.
That's
what you're working with, Linda. And I like it.
Linda is spicy. Who would have
Listen, Linda.
Listen, Linda.
Listen, Linda. That's my
now
favorite
I'm
thing.
Listening to Linda. Normally we don't listen to Linda. We should do a couple of stories before I have to, before Dominic decides that I'm like, never gonna get an Emmy and need to get off of the
before he decides to have another pants off dance off.
Exactly.
Just remember that one day we were all sitting around your driveway, it was a couple of years ago, and the door just opens and he's just in a t-shirt. What's up?
Yeah, and when
in the house, please.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm like,
I had a little brother. He was the same way. He wanted to wear, there was a year where all he'd wear was moon boots. Every time he tried to escape the house, he'd wear his moon boots and nothing else.
Mm-hmm.
Just running around, just showing the business out in the street. Yeah.
Convenient and ease, but we're not going to do that. Okay, so I do have a couple of stories. First of all, we know that a lot of our friends are out hanging out at the beach right now. You had your story about playing volleyball. This was actually a beach in it was in the UK. And so unfortunately for this young man in the UK, and by young I mean 18, he decided that he was going to start digging a hole in the sand. And he continued to dig and continued to dig. And then it turned out that his digging finally got a little too deep. And what he ended up doing was digging a hole so deep that it then collapsed in on top of him. And now he's trapped in this sand hole. And so you can see how many people it took to come and dig him out. Now, he ended up being okay. They just had some first responders come and check him out, make sure that he was safe. Everything was okay. But what they reminded people is that, hey, man, you wouldn't just dig a hole in your backyard and let your kids play in it. So you shouldn't do this, which brings me to what you shouldn't do as a parent, because my mom, when we were little, did let me just dig a hole in the backyard that I played in, because I decided that I could dig us a swimming pool.
Sure.
Like an in-ground swimming pool.
You can.
So I started digging me by myself. I'm like, I'm just going to dig and dig and dig. So I had gotten a pretty significantly big hole by a while. And it never occurred to me. I mean, I went pretty wide, but it never occurred to me, hey, this might fall in on me. I didn't see the walls or anything. So thank goodness I'm still here. That was
no kidding. You have to be so careful. I didn't know the kid, but I remember this happening when I was a child, because I lived in Woodbury at the time when I was like, I don't know, like 10.
Right.
And it was one of those winters where we just got so much snow, and the drifts and the piles. We lived on a cul-de-sac. And so we used to dig into and make little tunnels in the snowbanks.
Understandable. Yeah.
No one thought it was a big deal until what happened was there were some kids that were doing a similar thing that winter, and the snowplow came around, dumped more snow. The kids were in there, and it caused it to collapse. And those kids did not make it
out. That's so sad.
Well, like by the time they figured out, they're like, oh, well, they're playing outside. By the time they figured it out, and I mean, they didn't have long, because I mean, think of how many tons and tons that were dumped on them.
Right. Which is a similar story. Our version of what happened in Arizona is that we would get hot in the summer and go splash around in the irrigation trenches. And then all of a sudden there'd be some sort of flash, or they'd open a gate and we wouldn't know, and kids would get swept away, and they'd go, don't do this. And it's just surprising where you're like, oh, that never occurred to me that would be a thing. So whenever my kiddo comes up with some ill-advised plan, I'm never mad at him, because you're like, you don't think that's part of the reason about being a kid is you're smart, but you're not wise, because you haven't been here long enough to know this is a terrible idea. I shouldn't do this.
Right.
So thank goodness that we at least managed to not end up getting completely hurt every time we did something dumb, you and I, because we're here. So still knock on
I know. Remember when we would always get cautioned, don't play in an abandoned refrigerator. I don't know why people were just abandoning refrigerators, but it was a thing, I guess, for a while. Like,
I think for a while, Freon would just be like, you didn't repair things; it just broke, and you got another one because you couldn't refill it. So they would just leave them outside, and we're like, hide or seek. That's what we do.
Yeah.
No, now we're suffocating. Thank you, adults. And so now we all have to be helicopter parents, because that's the only way we know we're safe. Our kids aren't out there getting harassed.
And even still, they're just digging holes.
Yes.
You know?
18, digging a hole. So digging a hole. All right. So we this next story reminded me of a couple of friends that you and I have. I'm not going to tell you which one I think that this story most reminds me of.
I already know.
But
I sent you the story.
So you're like, oh yeah,
I know. Oh yeah.
So the thing is that there's this one particular couple, and they were they knew that the fiance was going to do a surprise proposal for this young woman. They were all out with their friends.
There's two couples, and it looks like the boys knew.
Well, there's more than that. Here's what there is. There was actually a number of friends that all went out. Some of the friends knew that the fiance was that the person was gonna propose. So they knew that the guy was gonna propose. And including that, they told the husband of the potential bride's cousin. And the reason that they told him is because the potential bride's cousin is too extra. Like, is the they knew she couldn't keep a secret. They knew
Right.
that she'd like spill the beans and do something silly. And so
Yeah.
what they ended up doing was it was the cousin's husband's job to make sure that she was out of the way when all of this happened so that she didn't spoil the surprise. And so it's absolutely brilliant. And Tiffany, we can show this is something that went viral on TikTok. So we have the TikTok video here so you can actually see why. You can see him. He's smooth though. I mean, he is so smooth. So you ready, Tiff?
Oh, I'm ready.
Okay.
I think it's hilarious.
Here we go.
Okay,
The
so she's got her back.
in the blue backpack.
She's looking away. She's got her back. He grabs his wife, puts the hand over the mouth, and drags her.
See, so the friend knew. I mean, you see the guy, like, it was so smooth because they have the one guy already who's like pretending that he just wants to take a group photo so he can do everything. And so they get them all together. They're hiding, you know, the guy who's going to propose behind him, and they go, use her as a shield. Then it's your job to get her out of here. She's just going. And I love the responses.
I do too. The only thing that would have been better if he had just had some chloroform on just, and then he just drags her off to a van.
Because she was excited and they want her on their side. She's very sweet. It sounds like they're just like, we knew she'd be extra and work it and, you know, and yell something, distract from it. Like we have that one squirrely friend that if we're like, how did you ruin their moment with your exuberance?
He's going to propose. He's on his knees. He's going to ruin his suit down there.
Right.
You
know what I think? Here's what I think would happen. Because you saw how excited she was. Yeah. I think our friend would do the same thing. If the cousin's husband hadn't pulled her away, what she would have done was like, are you proposing to her?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. You're gonna get proposed to. Oh my God, I'm so happy for you. I'm so happy for you. I'm so happy for you. And then we're like, could you let him just give her the ring? Could you stop?
She hasn't said yes yet either. So wait on that.
Go. So I love that you had one job moment that her husband was like, yeah, and I got it. Because he was very respectful with it, just chilled out and then politely was like, scooch this way.
Right. They had to have a meeting about it.
Go back over there once all of the things have occurred.
Yeah. She was the topic of a meet found out. She's like, why? What? So no, we had to talk about what we were going to do with you. For sure.
Policy memo. Oh, that was one of my favorite stories. One of my other favorite stories. You and I both have a background working at a hip hop station. And so this story did not surprise me. For everybody out there, remember there was a song by a very popular rapper named Juvenile. It's basically a rap anthem. The radio version was Back That Thing Up. The regular version was Back That Ass Up. And so Juvenile has elected to make a remix of it that is encouraging people to go out and get vaccinated. And so he has created a version of it called Vax That Thing Up. And I think I have part of it here.
Okay.
Can you hear that?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
It's faint.
Right. Okay. Then what we'll do is we'll make it louder, I think. But we'll see. We can watch it and let it play and see what happens.
Girl, you're looking good. Better back that thing up.
Open up the okay ass, okay, yeah. Profile picture looking tight, yeah. Nice, yeah. Got your bio reading right, yeah. Precise, yeah. But before you find a date, yeah, you gotta wait, yeah. Gotta go vaccinate, yeah. Get it straight, yeah. Girl, you look good. Want you vax that thing up.
Vax that thing up.
Vax that thing up.
Vax that thing up. Vax that thing up. Just throwing out the vaccination cards. I love it. It's kind of cutting out in and out in a little bit, but this is what I love about it. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, definitely watch it. But what I love about it is, and if you think about it, this is brilliant. Mm-hmm. Basically what I got from the video is you want to get laid again, don't you? Get vaccinated.
Fair enough. Yes.
That's basically what it is, because they show
Right.
there's a couple and they've been talking online. They've been sending pictures to each other, and now they're
Yes.
going to meet up. And he's basically saying, you better vax that thing up before
So
you
it
get
works.
together.
Right.
Yeah.
You want
It's
her
a
to
good
vax
motivator.
that thing up? You need to vax that thing up.
You
want
need
her
to vax that thing up.
You need to vax that thing up. I love the
Yes.
way that all the motions look just so
Right.
organically hip hop rap star still,
Yeah.
where he's like, yep.
Right. Yep. Yep.
Making it rain. I love it. I like it. I know that there's been a combination of feedback that he got. And I saw Juvenile do a interview on TMZ about that, where he was talking about, you know what? My kids are the ones that are on social media, so they'll tell me when they saw something negative. But they go, most of what I heard was it was positive. And we had somebody that wanted to do a collaboration, asked us to do it. He goes, I think I could help somebody. This is what I wanted to make sure that there was a message. So when people are being all purist, I think it's funny because there's some rap fans that are like, man, how dare you pollute a song that is so, such a rap anthem. I'm like, it's back that ass, AZZ up. He's okay.
Yeah.
It's
and it's
not
also my
Gangsta's Paradise.
song, honey. It's also my song. Also my song. You know what you can do? You can write your own rap anthem and then
Right,
not sell it.
exactly.
How about that?
Exactly.
Don't sell it to anybody. I bet it's so good. Like, have no one play it. How about that?
And I will do this and then also decide that I have an additional message that I want to share. So good for you, Juvenile. I'm glad he's doing well, because he talked about some other stuff going on in his career. So it sounds like he and his family are doing really well. And we had basically a lot of those behind the scenes, behind the music type scenarios. And so this is another one where it's like, you're glad someone who was very popular is still performing, enjoying, producing, doing a lot of things, and now trying to do something good in the hood. So thank you very much, Juvenile. Yeah. I forgot at the beginning, because I was talking to Cyclone Kid. Our question of the week last time we did it before Valentine's Day is, tell us about something, a petty reason you've done something. What was a petty reason?
Wasn't it that you broke up with someone?
Yeah. Well, a petty reason. Yeah. Well, broke up, dumped. That's why I was like, same different. Dumped. Got rid of, no longer talked to. Yeah. So we talked about that. So this week, I thought that it would be interesting if we go about something a little bit more positive near the beginning of life. And this was a story that Tiffany found. So there is a mom in New Zealand, and this mom decided to give her 3 children very, we'll say very
unique. Well,
unique.
Not totally unique. They're
not totally unique. You're right.
No,
Unique,
they are unique that you would call a child's.
Correct.
These are very popular names that you've probably heard of, but
right. So I am having issues now, not with it doing it.
She has issues. She has issues with the story.
I have issues. Yeah, no, I don't have issues with the stories. I am in a moment where I have issues. There we go. Now
look at the little baby with his little mic and his bandana. He looks like a little Axl Rose.
So she named the babies Slayer,
three.
Pantera,
and
Metallica. And then a documentary filmmaker saw this story, heard about this, and then he reported this in his newsletter. And he did. So this documentary filmmaker saw this story, and then he tracked down, ended up talking to the family, and then actually did some additional research to see if it would be okay if you wanted to name your kids something like Slayer, Pantera, and Metallica. And so he called over around basically the municipality in New Zealand, and they said, yeah, you can do that. Basically, it's not okay if the words are aggressively foul language or anything like that. That they'll tell you can't really use.
Oh, so you can't name your kid a cuss word?
No. It says they went to the Registrar General, and the Registrar General of New Zealand said that there are not, with very few reservations, there are no restrictions on naming babies after bands or albums, as long as the word used is not generally considered to be offensive and does not resemble an official rank or title. So the name is fine, but if they figured out a way to like inscribe the logo of Pantera on the baby or something weird like that, that would be what it wouldn't.
That'd be a problem.
Okay.
So don't name your baby F the police. Don't name your baby that. Yeah,
yes,
that would not be, because that would also imply rank, that your baby is also a sworn officer.
Right. So here's one thing. So you see them doing all these other things. So you see the mom is pretty metal. Like you can see this mom, why this mom did it. Like here's a picture of the mom, even though they don't say the mom's name. Like she's the crossbow mom.
She's got a
crossbow mom, neck tattoo mom. I understand would be like, that would be her quote. It's not easy raising 3 of the heaviest bands. And so I think is, go ahead.
I don't know. I kind of like Slayer for a name for a baby. I don't hate that. Pantera, Metallica, no.
Here's my thing about any of them. Coming from a culture that gets teased about making overly creative names, I am not down with giving your name giving your baby a name that handicaps them. Because that's one of the things that this particular filmmaker mentions is that, hey, historically, there's a lot of research that says if you name your kid something weird, that's what it do. Paul has some suggestions.
All right, Paul.
Paul says those are terrible.
Yeah, Mastodon.
Yes.
Little baby Mastodon. Get over here, Mastodon.
Ramstein. How do you say that? Ramstein or Ramstein?
Ramstein. Stein.
What's that middle one? I don't even know who's Bohira. I don't know anything about that.
I don't know that one.
You're outside of my genre.
I might know.
Pantera does scream redneck lifted truck. You are correct. But then again, you don't want to overly profile, but she named the babies Pantera, Metallica, and Slayer, and her favorite hobby involves a crossbow. So I'm not going to say that she's into a redneck lifted truck, but I would guess that she has a redneck lifted truck. If any mom had one, it would be the lady who has a crossbow.
Gojira is a band from France, Paul is saying.
Oh, gotcha.
The Japanese name for Godzilla. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I remember that from the Godzilla was It's like,
we'll look them up.
I don't know how to pronounce it though.
Yeah, I'm excited to go and learn a little bit more. Thank you very much for sharing that with us, Paul. So that brought us to, I thought they made the Billboard charts. Paul said, okay, you learned something. Normally, I like it when, that's part of the reason why we do an interactive show like this, because Tiffany and I only know so much. You guys can tell us the rest. So we appreciate that, because we both have a pretty full roster of useless-ish information that does occasionally pop up, and people are like, why do you know that? And I'm like, I just decided to know it. I was reading a weird article. So I appreciate that. So Amazonia is the song that he says is a great one from that from that band, Gojira.
Okay, Paul, do you play in this band? Do you manage them? It seems like you're getting the word out.
Paul, if Paul used to play in this band that's from France, I'd be impressed that he's back here in the Twin Cities and just like lowly. He's like, I'm retired now, ladies. I'm retired. I was crushing it in France, and I just needed some time to myself, and now I'm back here. So that's
I got so sick of beautiful women and wine and little
good accents,
teacup dogs.
I came back to the land of you betcha and don't you know, and that's what we do.
We don't have these.
Hey, John Sullivan's with us as well. John, when are you moving back to Minnesota from New Jersey? When are you going to stop being John from New Jersey? I don't remember. I think you told us a couple of weeks ago, but I forgot already. And while John is answering that question, so I figured this would be a good question of the week, Tiffany, based upon the naming of this lady from New Zealand, naming her kids Metallica, Pantera, and Slayer. What's the weirdest name you've heard somebody name their baby? What's the weirdest name you've heard somebody name their baby? And most of mine, like, I'm not down. Like, I thought it was bad enough when Gwyneth Paltrow used Apple and those kind of things.
I didn't hate Apple. Apple of my eye. I didn't hate Apple.
I kind of hated Apple because it's because even like peaches, I think is a pretty fruit to name your baby. Apple, even like the best smelling of fake apple smells does not seem like I want to name a child after it. Like if I name Cyclone Kid Apple, I don't know. You want to come? Could I call you an Apple instead? You want to be Apple?
You want to be Apple, like Fiona
I think
Apple?
more like he could. Yeah,
he could be Kiwi.
Pumpkin. You can be Kiwi. You want to be my Kiwi?
Kiwi's
Like
cute.
Kiwi's a good name.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can name your kid Mango.
Yeah,
I don't think most of my friends didn't name their kids anything too terribly weird. What I've noticed is a big phrase is like going with the old timey names, like Hazel or like you know what I mean, like Gertrude, but then calling him Gertie for short.
Gwendolyn. You are right. It is a super weird. Yeah, Elon. Yeah. Elon, yeah, Elon Musk's name. Like the first time Elon Musk, isn't it like a weird symbol of thing, like Prince, but not as cool? I remember reading the article about it, so it was ridiculous. Oh, good question. All right, so John Sullivan wants to know how tall Cyclone Kid is because he looks tall. So Cyclone Kid officially, I shouldn't even say officially. Last time we went to the doctor and he was up on the thing. They said he was 5'6", which is here. I'm gonna back up because look.
I think he's still taller than that.
Look, because
see how tall Dominic.
Taller than I am. Like legit now. Yeah, he's a tall dude. Because I'm 5'4", and even with us both, we both have voluminous hair, so we're both, even if we both squish. Yeah, he's still legit taller than I am when
but his dad's tall. So.
His dad's tall. Yeah, my ex is tall. His dad's 6'4", you know, kind of thing. So he got that from him, not me. Yeah. My side of the family, we're all like right up in here, like 5'4" to 5'7", like me. Like we're all live up in this whole thing. So he's got all of that. Right? Say, I'm so tall.
So tall. Such a big guy. He's so cute today.
He's in a good mood. He's just pushing today.
Little guy.
Yeah, see, so we had a good day. He's just been in one of these moods. Like he's in that I'm the boss of stuff mood, which is why we're outside.
Yeah, guy.
Yeah, you go use your own computer. Mom's almost done.
Where's Dominic's computer?
He's got his no. So he's been. This is when he has two incredibly bossy tendencies, and he does them on purpose, and he thinks it's hilarious. One is trying to get me to get off the phone. Usually when I'm talking to Tiffany, because I don't talk to that many people on the phone for long periods of time, just Tiffany. So he comes up and he goes, later, bye. Like that. I'm like, that means see you later and goodbye. No, it is not your job to tell me later, bye. I got this. And he's like, do you though? So yeah, so we deal with that a lot. The other thing is he comes in and he asks for food, but it's not an ask. Yeah. He does it like I'm his short order cook. So he'll just stand there like Gordon Ramsay, me like sausages. And I'm like, no. No, you're not just gonna shout sausage.
I haven't even pulled out my little thing to write down the order yet, kid. I mean, what is it?
I haven't greeted you or anything.
I hear him all the time. He says, pizza. Yeah. Pizza, mom. Yeah. Pizza, please. Like, pizza, please.
And I go, sentences. And then I say sentences. And then he goes, pizza, please, mom. And I'm like, I shouldn't have to tell you pizza. Yeah. Like, Paul, see, now this is why we don't need to hang out in person more often. Because, Paul, if you have the same manners as my 13-year-old, you need somebody like me going, sentences, young man, sentences.
Yeah. My old man, if he felt like he had to wait too long at a restaurant, would just start yelling stuff out. He'd be like, I'll take a Bud Light. Bud Light. Take a Brandy Manhattan over here. Anybody? We got a waitress. Somebody. Get over here. He'll just start. He was the worst though. Like it was so embarrassing. Like if someone forgot something that was supposed to come with the meal, like they forgot the grape jelly on the side or whatever it was. If he would do like a hard count of about 30 seconds. If they didn't come back with the missing item, he would cover the food with his napkin so that it would stay hot. And then he would get up, would walk into the kitchen in an attempt to help himself.
Oh my heavens.
No, he used to do this at the Perkins in Cottage Grove all the time. And the waitress, like, I mean, you could see he's like the guy on As Good as It Gets when Jack Nicholson walks into the restaurant and all the waitresses are like, you take him.
You get him.
You do it.
I'm done with this. Yep.
Yeah,
So,
he eventually, the manager told him he couldn't go to the kitchen anymore. Anyway, go ahead.
And then I'm sure he acted incensed. Knowing your pop was like, how dare you tell me I cannot come into the kitchen?
I'm an American.
No.
This is really all of our kitchen, right? This is supposed to be America's restaurant, right? Come on.
Mm-hmm. And they're all like, can we just get this man some pancakes and move out around? Stop.
Did we answer who had a weird, right? Exactly. Did we answer who had a weird baby name?
I do agree with our friend Diane. That Sieber said that weird thing that Elon Musk named his kid. Yeah. I agree that is pretty weird. Like if it's something that's unpronounceable and just it was like a umlaut or a mu or some bunch of like dot part dash this that or thing. I agree that wins for weirdest. So we'll do some research over the next week as well. I think we'll look around.
I think I would name my kid XYZ, just like the thing on your. Can't spell it wrong.
Because I think that here's the other reason why you and I both have a friend that has not even a completely weird name, but a weird adjacent name. No. So our friend Master. And so I've met other people named Master, but even when we were all worked together at that other radio station, they were like, what's your name? He said Master. And they said, your name's Zeke. And they just renamed him and just ignored the fact that his name was Master and never spoke of it again. They're like, well, we will not be calling you Master. Here's a nickname. And so I don't want to do that to my kid. I want to give them a name that they can just use if they want.
Yeah. I mean, like for presumptuous names, I think Baron was pretty over the top for Trump's kid.
Baron's alive.
He's the Baron of something. Also, too, is bad because if the wife ends up infertile, Baron. Sorry.
Ouch.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yes, it's like you are asking for this mnemonic to be a self-fulfilling prophecy. So yeah. So we have some good news. We see that John Sullivan, who is currently in New Jersey, is going to be back here in the Twin Cities, September 1st or 2nd. So that'll be good because what we're going to do, I'm going to wrap up by talking about Tiffany and I have 2 opportunities for you to see us coming up the rest of July. And so throughout the year, we are going to try and do a few more of these at our July 22nd show, the one that we are doing with the Twin Cities Film Fest at the Twin Cities Film Fest offices. You can get those tickets. We'll put the Eventbrite link out. What we're going to do along with our stand-up comedy performances and along with asking some of our good friends to come down and do some sets as well, Tiffany and I are going to do another late night edition of the Black Unicorn and the White Witch show. So we're going to do that on location. At the Twin Cities Film Fest offices. So you can check that out. So don't be surprised that we end up popping on around 7:30. No, it'll probably be closer to around 7:45. We'll pop on and do an abbreviated version of the Black Unicorn and the White Witch. So you'll be able to see that. So by the time you're back in town, John, we'll have gotten a few of these under our belt and you'll be able to see us do more live editions of this particular talk show. So you can do that. That'll be fun.
Studio audience.
Yes.
We are basically like a coast now.
Right. And Peggy will tell you. It is fun to watch us do it in person, like kind of thing. Like we weren't sure how it was going to turn out, but it was really fun to be able to do it, around people, to be able to include them in some of our shenanigans and hey, we have a taste test and to come up with ways that other people can do it instead of just Tiffany and I were doing it. At least that's what I thought, Tiffany.
Yeah. So no, we had fun. It was, we were. And, that's the thing about live. And nothing gets edited on this show.
Right.
This is it. Everybody's like, okay. So that's the thing you did. It's like, we did. And we loved it. It was fun for us. We made those adult Capri Suns out of bags of frozen fruit, which honest to God occurred to me to do this week. I was like, I want a bag of fruit with champagne in it. When we had the peaches in that champagne, that was delicious.
Yes. So we'll come up with some other interactive things that we can do during our live broadcast on July 22nd. Then also coming up later this month on July 28th, the following week, Tiffany and I are both going to be in the Wednesday comedy show. Our good friend Sarah McPeck puts this on over at Sisyphus Brewing. It's the fourth Wednesday of every month. And so Tiffany and I are both so we're both going to be on that show as well. So I'm excited, Tiffany. I haven't been to one of Sarah's shows in a while. So it'll be good to see Sarah in person. I mean, I've done some virtual stuff where she's been around. It's going to be a great lineup. Some really, really funny people like Linda Ahrens is on there. Ashanavi Abibi is going to be on there. Jacob Randall. I haven't seen Susie play guitar yet, but Sarah knows some very talented, diverse performers. Aaron Wodalesi, who popped in when you were doing your show at Keg and Case, Tiffany. So Aaron, people got a little peek of just Aaron because he kept in because he just happened to be there on a date. Yeah. So Aaron Wodalesi is going to be there as well.
I know, like I made it super awkward. I'm like, first date, huh? What's up? And he's like, oh God, I was hoping. He's like, I was hoping to get to like date 2, but before I had to talk about the comedy thing. And here now there's 2 of them here. Yeah, because I was there, and then Karen. Right, and Carolyn Poole was there, and we're all like, oh, hey.
Yeah, so you can get your tickets to that. It's a 7:00 show as well, just like our show at the Twin Cities Film Fest at Sisyphus Brewing in Minneapolis. Yeah.
And I wanted to say too, the Twin Cities Film Festival, if people are not familiar, that's in West End in St. Louis Park, plenty of free parking. You know how I have to plug the free parking. People won't come out of the suburbs if there's not free parking.
Absolutely. There's it's all free parking. Like you don't have to worry about it. They have a very nice secure ramp. Everything will be fine. Come down there. We're going to have some beverages, as we mentioned. And then you can also support the Twin Cities Film Fest. Tiffany and I are both volunteers with them, and I also am their diversity director. So it really is helping the filmmakers, the actors, the artists in town, and giving you an opportunity to do what we do here on the Black Unicorn and the White Witch, which is start conversations and build community. And that's what we do with the Twin Cities Film Fest as well. So come down, learn more about it. You'll see some great comedy shorts that are some of our favorite that have showcased at the festival over the years. It's going to be great. Oh, John, you're going to be in St. Louis Park, so you can see us all the time. We are going to be, St. Louis Park is my second favorite suburb just because I live in one that's adjacent to it. So that is the only reason. But I'm over there all the time. So you're moving to a great part of town, John. Mm-hmm. And hopefully you'll have a good opportunity to see us very often. In the meantime, we hope that you will please like and subscribe to all of our socials wherever you find Tiffany and I. It will help us out immensely. If you like what we do, hey man, do a little share on your page. Your girls.
Oh, that would be lovely.
Free. Yeah, it'd be free. Just you can go ahead and do that. That's a great way to support us. Just do a little share, help us get a few more followers, get that up there. And if you are able, come out and see us in person, because now that we can, let's do this. Let's reconnect and let's have a good time together and see what we can do to keep building these communities. So did I miss anything, Tiffany?
No, everybody vax that thing up.
Vax that thing up.
Vax that thing up. Go do yourself a favor though and go watch the video because it's so similar. It's so cute. They really did a good job. They really did.
I agree.
Yeah. And so I love Juvenile.
I love Juvenile as well. And you know who else I love? I love you, Tiffany. I love you.
Aww,
and I love everybody out there. We think you're great. So thank you very much for joining us. Enjoy the rest of your night. We will see you back here again next Sunday. So bye, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Someone who take a little time. search for clues, trying to shake the sidewalk blues. Wanna feel like I won't let away. Every next step that I take, the broken piece starts to be shake. So I sat down and prayed for rain. When my record stars crash to the ground, my hands are fed, were tightly bound, and a voice said, "You're not on your own." When calamity began to compound and the whiskey rain stopped pouring down, that voice said, "I'm not on my own."